Our topic for today in Success Mentorship class number 365 is 7 Laws of Human Intelligence. I thought that would get your interest. 7 laws of human intelligence. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, but what about human intelligence? Human intelligence was the intelligence that created artificial intelligence. And so we're going to look into that today and see how we can use human intelligence to transform our lives from what it is to exactly what we want it to be. I invite our listeners, if you don't have a copy, and even if you do, get another copy, to get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. Visit our website, www.herbertharris.com. And whatever you do, be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. Before we get started, we'll do our centering meditation to get us prepared for this message and prepared for this journey that we will share together. So let's close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. Take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Just let that peace sink in. And in this state of peace and tranquility, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. So it is. This day, one of the interesting things about this topic, a quote I'd like to share with you, and actually, it it's a really, you might say, a universal quote. It comes from our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And it says this: what you conceive and believe, you can achieve. I'll say that again. What you conceive and believe, you can achieve. And I wanted to start with that thought because over the last 2 weeks, we've discussed two very profound topics. We talked about the power of the pivot, how many of us get to a point in our lives where we may need to make a drastic change, a drastic shift, where we need to change direction, change affiliation, change our playground, change our playthings, change our playmates, to do something to stop where we are, to go where we want to go. So that power of the pivot, an awesome choice that we have that we can make to transform our lives. The second topic we had was profound. Last week, Christine shared a topic that I think just opened up everybody's mind, to renegotiate your life. That life is not only a celebration, life is a negotiation. You determine how you live. You determine how you relate to the world. And in that way, you determine how the world relates to you. And so when we have these two concepts, and I'll call them uh, a mindset for change, to pivot and to renegotiate, Then how do we move forward? What are the next steps? We hear so much about AI, that AI can show us the way. And I'm learning in many of the businesses and many of the things that we're doing, AI is a powerful tool. I was looking, I love to go to the definitions, and I had a beautiful definition for AI, artificial intelligence. And it said artificial intelligence is the capacity of computers or other machines to exhibit or simulate, operative word, simulate intelligent behavior. And so this idea of AI is interesting. In other words, that we can use computers to simulate the thinking mind, the creative process. Then we ask, well, what about human intelligence? Because human intelligence created artificial intelligence. I was in the computing area many years ago, and we had a thought, and it says garbage in, garbage out. That your computer was no better than the person who programmed it. And so when we look at AI right now, basically what AI has been able to do is to literally read virtually everything on the internet. The internet is this huge field of information to read it and store it and manipulate it. But still, human intelligence is more profound. I looked up a definition, and human intelligence was so much, you might say, more rich than this artificial intelligence. And it said human intelligence is a mental quality that consists of the abilities to learn from experience, adapt to new situations, understand and handle abstract concepts, and use knowledge to manipulate one's environment. So, literally, human intelligence is the ability to use your mental faculties to create and impact the life in which that you're living. Now, there are two other aspects of this. Someone says, can a computer be creative? A computer can be creative, but when I look at the difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence, on page 82 of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, we talk about two types of imagination. Synthetic imagination. Definition: through synthetic imagination, existing concepts, ideas, and plans are arranged into new combinations. This type of imagination operates through education and observation. A genius uses synthetic imagination to create something totally new. And isn't that really, when we think about it, what this artificial intelligence is really about? Taking what already exists, the ideas and the plans that already exist, and arrange them into new combinations. I was looking at the process for artificial intelligence to create information, and basically it looks at what has been done before, what words have followed other words. And so when it writes a sentence, it's like a statistical analysis of what should follow based on what has gone before. But now let's look at creative imagination from page 82. Through creative imagination, your mind has direct communication and contact with universal intelligence. Creative imagination is the faculty through which hunches and inspiration come. It communicates through the subconscious minds of others and operates as a sixth sense. Though it operates automatically. Creative intelligence is most productive when your conscious and subconscious minds are in harmony with it. So when we look now, then, our minds, the human intelligence, is more like creative imagination. And so we can say, well, what's the difference now? Artificial intelligence operates on what we give it. As we say, garbage in, garbage out. But human intelligence has the ability to tap into infinite intelligence, has the ability to tap into the God mind through harmonic interactions with the life, with energy, and even with other people. So we can use something like the mastermind principle, where human beings are able to connect with one another on a thought level, and this vibration of these individual thoughts come together in a harmonic way so that one plus one is more than two. Artificial intelligence now. Let's look at some stark differences. Two, as I hold up one finger, right? Two. The main difference is artificial intelligence is under external control. Somebody else handles the internet, the platform on which it operates. Somebody else has developed the algorithms by which it operates. You let's look at something like Starlink, how the entire world is able to communicate through these satellites. But anything that operates outside of you that is not in your control can be controlled by someone else. It's a scary thought that one day somebody may pull the plug and we go to the internet and it's not there. Somebody may pull the plug and we pick up our telephones and they don't work. When we look at what was done in the Middle East with cell phones blowing people up, anything that is not controlled by you, not controlled by God, can be problematic. And so, after we have made our pivot, after we have renegotiated our lives, how do we move forward? And so, my recommendation is this: to protect our own ability to create the life we desire, to create that life from within our creative imagination, within our connection to infinite intelligence. And so, in doing this, I wanted to put forth seven, I'll call them laws of human intelligence. There are other laws when you look at our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. But these seven laws now can form that foundation for you now to go forth after you have pivoted, after you have renegotiated. These are some principles that can take you to the next level. So let's look at principle number one, the law of belief. Belief is the foundation for every achievement. You know, our opening quote, if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. Belief is that unwavering belief, that unwavering conviction that our goals are attainable, that our inner potential can help us overcome any obstacle. That's a great power tool. So it is through belief that we can look at our situation in life as we decide how to go forward, and we can say, hey, I believe I can do it. And then I can take belief to the next level, which is faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So belief morphs into faith, and that gives you the tool now that no matter what happens, no matter what pig pen you're in, no matter what bad relationship you're in, no matter what things have happened to you to keep you from doing, being, and having what you want, you can overcome it. In other words, belief can give you unlimited potential to overcome obstacles and create the life of your dreams. Powerful tool. Henry Ford said something very powerful. He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So, this first law of belief says if you control your beliefs, if you control the thoughts in your mind, then you can control your life and therefore nothing is impossible. So, after you've pivoted and now you're renegotiating, whatever you put in your mind, whatever beliefs you hold can guide you. Because belief is a power tool. When we believe in ourselves, we can align ourselves with our hopes, with our aspirations, which then sets the stage for success. So belief prepares the way. The second law is the law of responsibility. You see, once you believe things, even when we look at the first law of success, for example, is the law of thought, and it says a mind can conceive anything that it can conceive and believe. A mind shall have whatsoever it thinks in its heart. So, whatever it thinks, the concept, the belief, and the feeling nature of it. You see, there's a little difference between belief is rather abstract. When you put it into a thought now, it has an intention added to it. And so when we say, I take responsibility now, it's that whatever that new mindset, whatever that those things are that you believe, now you're taking responsibility to manifest them in your life. Well, when you take responsibility to manifest, you're really taking responsibility for the consequences. So taking responsibility means owning the choices. It is my choice to do this, but it's also accepting the consequences of your actions. And so if you are doing, if you're not operating in a profound, effective way, the proof is always in the pudding. Winston Churchill said, the price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill was a profound man, had a profound impact on the world. The price of greatness is responsibility. In other words, whatever you become, whatever you do, whatever you have, is the result of your thinking, your beliefs, and you're taking responsibility for manifesting them. That when you embrace responsibility now, you empower yourself to bring about change. You give yourself the power to steer your life in the direction you want it to go. We have a beautiful affirmation that says, if it's to be, it's up to me. So now, if you can see it, you can be it by taking responsibility to manifest it. The third law of human intelligence is the law of vision. So let's look at the evolution. You believe you can. You believe you can create this world that you desire. You take responsibility for doing it, and you make the choices that are consistent with that belief. But to take that belief to the next level, you must see the vision. Vision is looking beyond the present and picturing the future that you want to create. I'm going to say that again. Vision is looking beyond the present to create the future that you want to create the future that you want to experience. The Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain. The Habakkuk is one of the shortest books in the Bible, but it has that passion, that passage. Write the vision, write your vision and make it plain, that he may run that readeth it. That if you can write it now, you can read it, which then reinforces your belief. Said, though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. The power of the vision is awesome because as you pivot, sometimes you pivot to have a journey from. You pivot from a bad situation to say, number one, let me stop hurting. Let me climb out of this hole. You renegotiate to say, let me change my relationship with myself, maybe with my God, with my people, with my environment. But then you have to have a vision because the vision becomes that manifestation, that power that pulls you toward it. Vision is that inner blueprint that guides your journey, that inspires you, that helps you set meaningful goals. The scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish. When you have no vision, your life just goes along like a thistle in the wind. Some people live their lives like a star on its predetermined trajectory, and others live their lives like thistles in the wind, blowing here, blowing there. Joel Barker said this: vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes time. But vision with action can change the world. One of the most powerful things about vision is really operates in what we might call the law of manifestation and energy. That there is no vision that you can have that does not have the provision to help it manifest. Many people are guilty of dreaming too small. With vision, there is no limitation on your imagination. And the fact that you can see the vision means that there's an energy equivalent out there in the universe that is waiting to be manifested. And so if you have a vision and you believe it and you feel it and you talk about it and you act on it, it will come to pass. Which leads us to the fourth law of human intelligence, which is action. See, now this is where there's this great divergence a lot from that artificial intelligence, because action is that catalyst, action is that stimulus that converts ideas into reality. An idea, a thought is just a thought, but the moment you put feet to it, the moment you act on it. And so as we go forth over this next year, every thought that we have, the moment we start to act on it, we'll get desired results. So we believe it, we take responsibility for it, we see it, and then we act on it. You see, action confirms belief. Action confirms belief. So what you act on, you believe, and that then creates the vibration that helps it manifest in your life. One of my great German philosophers was Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And he said this: knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. So this gives a solid foundation now after we have made these changes to how to lay out our lives the way we want them to be. When we start taking action, it gives us the ability to move beyond contemplation to operation. Move beyond contemplation to manifestation. See, real progress in our lives is when we are able to translate and transform our vision, the thoughts that we have, into action, into tangible actions, no matter how small. Kenya Crooks is one of my favorite celebrity trainers, and he says, inch by inch it's a cinch, yard by yard it's hard. There's a beautiful scripture that ties in with this. You know, and you know, this is not religion at all, but there's scriptural principle, and I love the principle when in chapter 7 of the law of action and the 12 universal laws of success, and it says, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So if you don't take action on your beliefs, they're not going to happen. Something will happen, but it's probably not what you would like to happen. So this law of action really sets the stage now to bring about that you desire. The fifth law of human intelligence is the law of discipline. See, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was such a profound speaker and teacher. He said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And so, as we take action, action without discipline will not get the results that we're seeking. Action without discipline undermines consistency, undermines persistency. So, discipline gives us the ability to develop habits that can carry us to the next level. You see, in the beginning, we create the habits, but in the final analysis, the habits create us. And so, with discipline, we can build those habits that lead to success. With discipline, we can take control of our bodies, of our minds, of our instincts, and our emotions to such an extent that they serve us and they help us get where we want to go. When we couple that and put it home, file it down a little bit more and call it the self-discipline, is that choice that we make where we say, I am in charge of me and everything about me, is that choice to take possession of your mind in such strength or degree that nothing is impossible, that everything is working together on one accord. So that fifth law of human intelligence, discipline. The sixth law of human intelligence is relationship. See, relationship really acknowledges that no journey is taken in isolation. It's not a trip you take by yourself. And not only that, relationship says that there are certain powers that you cannot access by yourself, that you really have to be tuned in to another person, to other people, so that the I am power operates within that sphere. It says, when two or more gather on one accord, I am in the midst of them. I am is the ability to create. And so this idea of relationships now says that whether it's a family or friends or colleagues, that relationships not only enrich your lives, but relationship provides support, provides inspiration, provides perspective, but most of all, provides access to knowledge and power that you cannot access by yourself. Tony Robbins said, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. I'll say that again. The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. One thing I'll say is this: as you begin to create this new life for yourself, is to qualify your relationships now, to have standards and boundaries for relationships. Healthy relationships are based on trust and empathy, communication. All connections are crucial. So be sure to make the right connections based on what you want to go, where you want to go, and what you want to be, and what you want to do. When we talk about relationships, I love to tell the story of the long handled spoon. And I think this really gives us a picture of how we have to move forward in this world at this time. A fellow asked God, he said, God, what's the difference between heaven and hell? God took him to a place where there were two doors. He opened the door on the left, and there was a table and people sitting around the table, big bowl of food, soup there, and these long spoons. But yet these people were unhappy. They were thin. They were gaunt. Clearly, they were suffering. They were starving. And the challenge was, let me tell you what the challenge is in a minute. Let's look in the other room. In the other room, you had same table, soup in front of the people, same long handled spoon. But yet these people were well fed, were happy. You could tell they were healthy. And so the man said, well, God, what's the difference? God said, well, the people on the left side, you see that spoon was so long, you could not use that spoon and dip the soup and reach your mouth. Your arms weren't long enough. And they were selfish and they were self centered. They didn't care about anybody but themselves. And as a result, they starved because they could not feed themselves. But in the other door on the right side, these people had the same challenge, but they had a different mindset. They said, if I can't feed myself, let me at least feed my neighbor. Let me feed my brother. And so this way, they took that long spoon that they couldn't feed themselves, but they could feed their neighbor, and each one fed someone else until everyone was fed. So relationships are a powerful tool that can help you overcome things like nothing else. And then finally, the seventh law of human intelligence is the law of obedience. Now, I don't mean obedience to any dogma or laws, something outside of yourselves. I don't mean like a blind submission, but this is obedience to say, I want to be aligned with my values. This idea of obedience being aligned with your core values, aligned with your purpose. You see, once you understand this obedience to the purpose and the reason for your creation, you are now in a position to do more, be more, and to operate more effectively. So true obedience is not about passive submission, it's about active alignment of your will with a higher power. And you see, when you're obedient, when you go through most of the spiritual and religious perspectives, it always talks about obedience to God, obedience. In other words, following those principles that honor who you are and what you are about. When you honor the values inside you, truthfulness, honesty, justice, all of these things, this creates within you a sense of permanence and a foundation now from which you can operate. So, obedience to the vibration of who you are. If I wanted to do an analogy, when the prodigal son had gone off into the far country and blown his fortune, when he was in the pig pens of life, and he came back and he said, in my father's house, the servants have food enough and more. He was acknowledging that relationship, obedience. He said, I will arise and go to my father's house, and I just want to be a servant. In other words, I will become a part of the obedient staff that serves my father. So once you align with that which that created you, you are now able, based on your values now, to weather the storm, to build and to make it happen. So these seven laws can help you move from the pivot, from the renegotiation, to the dream, to the vision, and to your purpose. So my recommendation is that it is important as human beings to protect these laws, to understand these laws, and to operate under these laws so that one day we will always create the person we were designed and created to be and manifest our purpose. That law of belief, that whatever we can conceive and believe, we can achieve. That law of responsibility that says if it's to be, it's up to me. I take responsibility for the outcomes in my life. The law of vision, to see it clearly, to create a vision so clear, knowing that if you can create the vision, the provision is already there. The law of action, that you are committed to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to manifest your desires. The law of discipline, that you will take control of your mind, of your emotions, your instincts, so they are all under your control and work together for good. That law of relationships, where you're now very discriminating about the people you permit to come into your life. Everybody just can't walk into your life, where now you have boundaries and criteria for relationships, knowing the power that those relationships can produce. And then finally, that law of obedience, where you commit to be aligned with the power that created you, the source that manifested you, and the purpose for which you were created. That when you can live by these 7 laws, then nothing is impossible. Then you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Whew. Let's just take a breath for a moment. Thank you so much for being with us today. Those on Instagram, those on YouTube, and of course our mastermind group. I'm so anxious to get together and talk with you. Those of you who are listening, be sure to check out our mastermind group on Patreon, the Success Mentorship Network, because when we get together on Saturday mornings, we have a profound time, a profound thing. Where can I find it? Yes, on your page. Email anyone who does not see our mastermind. It's the patreon.com/success mentorship network. Patreon.com/success mentorship network. Be sure to go out and get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. Visit our website, herbertharris.com, www.herbertharris.com. See some of the goodies we have there to help you transform your life, and book a success consultation. There's a book a success consultation to speak with me, and maybe I can help you be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. So, those of you on Instagram, on YouTube, bye for now, always knowing that the best is yet to come. Those on Zoom, hang on for our discussion. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow. You can unmute yourselves and
Grand Risings, Dr. Harris.
Grand Rising. Good morning, Jonathan.
You dropping some golden nuggets this morning. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. That manifestation that you say write the vision down. I've been sending out those little meme text, those little scripted text things out. Write the vision down, make it clear, though it may tarry, like you said. It's
Yes.
on its way. God ain't gonna give you no vision if He ain't gonna provide the way for you to make a way for it. And I tell you, that was needed this morning. That was needed, much needed.
Thank you.
I'm always, every time I get on there, today I hit the alarm button because I'm up here in Dallas at this basketball tournament, and I hit the alarm. I was like, nah, but I gotta wake up, I gotta chime in, and it was 7:11, and I jumped on, and you was on it already. So thank you for always coming right on time with the word.
Thank you, Jonathan. Oh, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Good morning, Dr. Harris. Good morning, Mastermind Group. What everything, of course, with that, which you said was right on point, but something that's in particular struck me with regard to the law of responsibility.
Mm.
And I think it was Machiavelli who, back in the 16th century, who said something like, people don't want to take responsibility. That's why they have politicians. So they give
Mm.
up their power, and while everything is going great, they love their politicians. Soon as something goes wrong, they want to lynch them.
Mhm.
figuratively or literally. So there's something really essential with regard to taking responsibility, not just for ourselves, but for the people that we put in office or in
Yes,
positions of power to act on our behalf. And I think there's a serious lack of responsibility at the moment going on, where people are doing whatever the hell they want, and we're just supposed to take it. So taking responsibility is not just for ourselves, but for the wider community, I think, as well, instead of
yes,
waiting for somebody else to do it.
yes, yes. Thank you, Sheila. Wow. The Dream Cipher. Thanks so much. Great, great feedback. What a group. We have a beautiful group today. Other thoughts, other comments, other feedback.
Peace, peace, peace. Dr. Harris,
Yes, Paris.
I loved everything that you had said today. Um, I was taking it all in. And one of the things that stood out to me was that you just spoke about the importance of being meaningful of not only the people that's around you, but the things that you are doing and really executing everything that you desire. And it's possible. And having a supportive group is so imperative to that, um, to that journey. And I'm so thankful for this group as well. Thank you for everything for today. It was amazing.
Thank you, Paris. We appreciate you. And we did a great interview last week. I tell you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that interview. And I got so much feedback from your followers.
Wow.
Your
Really?
Yeah, your group sends money. They cash at me.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Thank you so much,
absolutely.
Paris. Yes,
No
yes,
problem.
yes. All right. Other concepts, other thoughts.
Good morning, Dr. Harris.
Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning. Good morning, Mastermind Group. Well, I am here digesting. I wrote all of my notes. I was very focused this morning. And I feel as if this was an elevation. It was like we've been doing a lot. We've been in high school, we came through the different levels. This feels like, that master's level, that university level. I don't know, the levels you guys have in the US, but in Barbados, you go up to university level. And, it makes you want to think deep. And there's a word that came from me. I had to go research it because there's a word that I was trying to find a word to describe this particular session, and it's called a compendium.
Okay. All
I,
right. Yes.
I was like, this, you can't put a simple word to this session. This session it felt like an elevation because it gave us such precision, but it was a completeness about it. And I loved from the time you chose that particular topic, Dr. Harris, I told you I was excited. I knew it was going to bring a crowd. And I think everybody pretty much came in early today.
Yes.
I didn't have to let in a lot of people. I said, obviously people were very interested by this topic.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to break down the definition of compendium, and it's a collection of concise but detailed information about a particular subject, especially in a book or other publication. And it also said a collection of things, especially ones systematically gathered.
Yes.
Dr. Harris, I think you really went into the spirit for this one. It was systematic. It was such a complete understanding of the importance, one, of human intelligence and the fact that we carry such a frequency that if we align and we take action and responsibility and we're disciplined and we have our right relationships and we are obedient to spirit, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish. That's all I have to say, Dr. Harris. That's it.
Thank you, Don. Well, you were so much a part of this. When Dawn and I were talking, she said, "Well, what is your topic?" And I said, "I don't know. I just." And I told her I laid down on the couch. I'm in my studio, and I have a Naugahyde couch, a couch that goes back to the '60s. Sandra says you need to throw it out now. I ain't touching nothing. When I bought this house, this was like 20, 24 years ago. It was furnished. The lady who lived here when she passed, the people didn't want anything. I gave them a check. They gave me the key, and so I have kept just about all of a lot of antiques. But there's this Naugahyde couch that's 7 feet long, and I can lay on that. And I laid down. I thought for just a moment, and I was asleep for about. I was not asleep. It was a trance for about almost 3 hours. And when I got up, I went straight to my desk, and it was as clear as a bell. So the next morning, I sent Dawn the message. I said, "Here's the topic." She said, "I want to hear this." So thank you, Dawn. And it did come from a different space. Thank you. Hey, Patricia.
Good morning. It's good to be back. I've been sick for a couple weeks, but I've been listening on YouTube, the replays. But what you just said, Dr. Harris and Dawn, is exactly what I was feeling. It was a supernatural message you gave us today, Dr. Harris, and I thank you so much. And like Dawn said, it's like as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, this is probably why everybody's quiet because you gave us so much and we're taking it in and applying it. And it's just awesome to be connected with the Holy Spirit and have that word that will absolutely change us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pat. Wow. Thank you. Hmm.
Good
Other
morning.
thoughts today?
Good
Dr.
morning.
Jana, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Harris. Good morning, Mastermind. I agree with Patricia. Uh, this is this is this is one of those Selah messages where one really just needs to be quiet and take it in. Um, so much richness, but I so appreciate the comparison between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence is powerful, but we have to be critical thinkers and not just go along with what we hear.
Mhm.
Artificial intelligence is not our salvation. The divine is our savior.
Yes.
And artificial intelligence is powerful. And just like any tool, it can be used for good and it can be used for evil. But what you gave us today is so far above and beyond that. You said at the beginning that you offer this as a blueprint that we can use to create in our lives what we want to create. And that is a claim that only the divine can make. No human can give you that power and that insight. No machine can give you that power and that insight. And right now, in a world that feels very uncertain, with changes that are scary, it is very good to come back to something that is eternal and that is above our control, but yet being offered to us. Thank you. You're muted, Dr. Harris. You're on mute.
Thank you, Dr. Jane. You said, I was checking out your ability to lip read. Thank you so much. Thank you. What you shared was just powerful. Thank you so much.
Good
Uh,
morning. Good morning, Mastermind. Good morning, Dr. Harris.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am following my big sister's lead here. I was waiting and listening. Um, one of the big takeaways I have, several ones, discipline is one, and it's something that we all, but particularly touch my heart, my brain. Um, the other thing is that connection to that higher power and that they are helping us, but it's in the service of others
Mhm.
that that I am force is there with you. When you realize that what you're doing is bigger than yourself, and
Yes.
then that's where the doors open. That's where that I am force comes in to make things happen.
Yes.
But you're right, one doesn't happen without the other, and it all needs to be there. It's a blueprint for successful life,
Yes.
not just in business and relationships, but those 7 steps are just for everything. And we thank you. We thank you for that.
Thank you, Lena. We appreciate you. You and your sister. Yeah. 5 o'clock in the morning out there. Wow. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm in Florida, so
Oh, you're in
I'm good.
Florida.
I'm in Florida, so I'm good.
Okay.
She's the big powerful one.
I got you.
I'm the little sister in Florida.
Well, welcome and thank you so much for your input. Mm. Other thoughts this morning?
Good morning.
Yes. Hey, Herman, how are you?
I'm sorry, Christine. You was putting your hand up.
It's okay. I'd rather hear from you, Herman.
You need to stop, Christine. You need to stop. You are such a flatterer. Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Harris, and good
Good
morning,
morning.
Mastermind Group. You know, they don't call this the name of this mastermind is not the success mentor class for nothing. Because we're here to learn from the genius. And he's been mentoring us. Well, he's been I don't know how long this group been going on. When I joined the group, Dawn, it was like 8 of us,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how long y'all was going. He was on 200. I can't count right now. I
Yeah.
can't count right now. But they don't call this the success mentorship class for nothing. Of course, there's life lessons going on every Saturday in the most powerful transformational hour that you're gonna get in America. Thank you, Dr. Harris.
Thank you, my friend.
Of course, the lesson today was fantabulous. It just stimulated all of my little brain cells and helped me understand the difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. And I listen, artificial intelligence can cut a task,
Uh-huh.
it can cut a task down and save you so much time. It's unbelievable. But the human intelligence is the driver, right?
Yes.
Artificial intelligence don't do nothing until you give it a prompt. It ain't going.
Hmm.
So we have to remember, like Dr. Spalding said, we are the creative soul. We are the drivers of artificial intelligence. But you just can't take everything it says on when you say verbatim. You
Yeah.
have to you
Yeah.
have to analyze you have to analyze it, you have to critique it, you have to uh uh put a human touch on it because it's not like it doesn't have a
Yes.
soul. It can't really
Yes.
do it does a
Yeah.
lot, but it
Yeah.
can't have your piece too.
Yeah.
So let me get to the lesson. Uh the principles you gave us: vision, action, discipline. obedience, relationship, all are required for me to build myself.
Yeah.
All are important building blocks in the development and transformation. I'm not going to talk about all the points, but vision is, without vision is nothing. So I was blind. I didn't have no vision. My vision was my vision was blank. It was like tabula rising. It was blank. And that's why I didn't have no clarity. I didn't have no vision. I didn't know where I was going. But when you get some vision, now you get clarity. Now I could see where I'm going. I couldn't hit a target. I didn't know where I was going. I was just I was like apathy, just blowing in the wind. But when I have a vision, now I'm locked in. I know where I want to go. I know what books I want to read. I know what food I want to eat. I know what goals I want to chase. I know what's for me. I know what's not for me. Vision just disciplines me. So without vision, nothing is happening. Without vision, I'm just like sitting in my lazy recliner with being amused. You know what amuse means? Amuse means not thinking. The A means not, amuse means thinking. So I'm just being amused. So when I got my vision is working, I'm stimulated. I know what I need to do. I know what I know I don't need to do. And action makes it all go down. Action means do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Period. Jim Rohn is my guy. I heard about Jim Rohn by accident. I'm a runner, right? So I'm running in the park and I'm listening to Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is talking about beast mode. You gotta want this, you gotta go get this, and I'm getting pumped up running, and the YouTube video goes off, and Jim Rohn comes on, and I'm like, who's this country? Then I'm listening, I'm like, what is? Oh, that's whoa, oh, who is this guy? Man, I looked, I said, Jim Rohn. I'm looking, he's from Wyoming. I'm like, but I got home and I listened to Jim Rohn. And I listened to another one of his YouTubes. And he said, discipline is the bridge between you and your goals. Then he said, this is what changed my whole life. He said, you're in the same place because you don't work hard on yourself. He said, you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. He said, if nothing changes, I can guarantee you'll be in the same place in 3 years that you are today. Pennies in your bank account and behind on your promises. And I looked at my bank account. I said, yo, who is this guy? So Jim Rohn is one of the guys that I definitely changed my life because he taught me about increasing my value. And if you increase your value, you don't got to worry about chasing business in the world. The world is going to chase you to get your value because you're going to help them solve their problems. Okay, so one last quote. Mike Tyson said discipline in a way that made me say, oh my God. Mike Tyson said, discipline is doing the things you hate to do like you love it. And that resonated with me because we don't do things that we don't want to do them. We know what we have to do. We know everything we need to do. If we're in school, we know we got to do to be successful. If we're in business, we know we need to do to be successful. If we're parents, if we're in a relationship, we know we got to do, but we don't want to do it. So when Mike Tyson said, doing the things you hate to do because we hate them, like you love them, that just changed the whole script. And it just made my life so much easier because I'm like, yo, going, you don't want to do it, but do it like you smile through it, show up happy, be cheerful. So that was one of the things that helped transform my life. And these principles you gave us, if we applied our vision, right? If we chase our vision like our life depends on it, it'll pull us through everything. It'll pull us through the self-doubt. It'll pull us through the fear. It'll pull us through the failures. It'll pull us through because we're focused on something. And right now, I feel like I am I always say I'm a child of God walking in God's grace, but my goals is aligned with his purpose on my life now. And when that's going down, things happen that I can't even explain. I'm doing I can't explain them because I'm not in control, but my goals is aligned with his purpose. And I just want to thank everybody that said a few words before me. I'm getting ready to close my big mouth, course. I keep going. I keep going. Thank you guys.
Hey, Herman. Herman, you know what your handle was the vision guy. Herman the vision guy. Wow. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, yes, yes. It's about time for you to speak again, too, Herman.
I heard that. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, Dawn will hook you up. She's scheduling everything.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let me
Yeah.
let me just say, on March 20th,
Uh-huh.
I'm speaking at the New York Council for Problem Gamblers on my topic, reversing gambling stigma.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's going down.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
going down.
And you're getting paid. I love it. Go
Oh yeah, I
ahead, man.
forgot that part. They're gonna pay me too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Okay. Super great. Super great. All right. Let's see. Joyce has her hand up.
Good morning, Mastermind Group.
Good morning, Joyce.
You just assisted me in reframing AI. And my reframe now is HI.
HI. Yes.
Human intelligence. HI, human intelligence. And that encompasses artificial intelligence. So thank you for this great lesson this morning.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joyce. And as a great trainer, I appreciate that. You are one of the super ones.
Thank you.
Thank you. Christine, you had your hand up.
I did. It's hard to see in the star, I know. Geez, Herman, I'm so glad you talked before me because you made me think of some other things to talk about. When you talked about Mike Tyson's quote, "Do the things you hate to do as if you like them." One of the things that we've always talked is a term. Here I am changing terms again, but you get to versus you have to. And once a lot of this stuff is mindset and the way you think about things. So when you start thinking about things as, man, I get to take out the garbage today. Yahoo! You know,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can find some way to have fun with it. Like I
Yeah.
would do that with my kids. I said, well, if it's boring, skip the garbage out to the street, or something like that. You can have fun with it that way. So you made me think of that this morning. Thank you. Doctor, you went so fast this morning, Dr. Harris. I love to take good notes, but I missed a lot of stuff. So I'm definitely going to have to do the repeat, but I wanted to finish the one section under vision. You said vision without action is only a dream. And then I know you got action without vision and vision with action, and I didn't get what they are. So I want those endings.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me look at my notes here. I make meticulous notes when this message was coming. My mind was like vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just pass the time.
Passing time.
Vision with action can change the world. And that's Joel Barker. Sorry.
Joel Baker, Bocker.
Barker. Joel Barker.
Oh, Barker. Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking about Goethe before, so now I got the German influence
Yeah.
in my mind.
Well,
Okay. Then I only had a couple of things too. I mean, I forgot who said it earlier, but man, I am taking all this, and I got at least 3 pages of notes today.
uh-huh,
But when you were talking about 1 and 1 makes more than 2,
uh-huh.
one of the things that Ross actually always talks about
If you take a handful of water and then take another handful of water, you basically have two handfuls of water. If you use both hands to scoop up
Uh-huh.
the water, you're going to get about 3 cups of water. And so instead
Yeah.
of 1 cup and 1 cup, you get three. Uh,
Wow.
so I thought you might like that one. Uh,
Woo.
and then, of course, you guys talk about faith, and every time, I'm pretty sure I've shared this with you before, but the anagram for faith, Father and I together here, always gets me. I got that from Alexander Everett many, many years ago, and
Uh-huh.
it just always sticks with me.
Uh-huh.
And one of these days, I know I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I'm going to regret saying it out loud because I know you're going to hold me to it, Dr. Harris. But one of these days, I'm going to talk Ross into talking about responsibility and the difference between accountability to and accountability for, uh,
Yeah.
because that's seems to be something we start to talk about a great deal here. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to have to talk him into that pretty soon. I know.
Well, you work on it.
I'll work. I'll work on it.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Christine. I tell you, Ross, she's in, you're in her crosshairs now, buddy. Wow. That was interesting. Thank you so much. You keep coming out with such great insight. Josh, you had your hand up? Or was that from before?
No, I didn't lower it.
Oh, okay. All right. Other thoughts this morning?
Dr. Harris, I just had an idea
Yes.
that we could probably share with the group. Now, I know we have some avid note takers here. And
Mhm.
of course, because we have access to technology and
Uh-huh.
AI,
Uh-huh.
maybe what we can do is have the AI take a summary of our sessions. And for those people that may want those notes, I mean, it takes wonderful notes. I'm telling you,
Okay.
doing it
Yeah.
with some of my clients and it's good.
Uh-huh.
And maybe we can have those sent out. I think it can come straight to your email for those persons that want a copy or those persons
Uh-huh.
that will use it. So that while while we're in session, you can pay close attention. You don't have to try to be writing notes,
Yeah. Yeah.
while
Yeah.
you're listening. So that
Yeah.
might be an idea we might want to implement.
Yeah. Thank you, Don. And it's interesting. I find a combination of the two is best. I used
Yes.
to there's something about the writing, the eye hand coordination and taking notes that almost prepares the mind to be open and receptive. And so uh, I think use both. And I think what we may do as a part of the Success Mentorship Network, we can actually post that. And so we'll work on that. I think that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, as a note taker, when I was an avid note taker in college. I went to college at 16, and I was totally unprepared, and I had to learn how to read faster. The SQ3R study method was what kept me going, and one of the things that um, really kept me in there was my ability to take notes. I learned to write fast and small. And so many of you have seen my technique. I always divide my sheet in half and I write down one side and then down the other. And so over the years, developed a note taking technique that has served me well. I'm like the eternal student. I'm always taking something from somebody, some course, somewhere. And so note taking has been a powerful strength. And then I find that when I go back, and as a matter of fact, when I was studying for the bar, I would go to the class at night and I would take notes. And I would take notes down. I'd divide my page 3/4 on the left side, 1/4 on the right side. And I'd take my notes down the left side of the page. Then the next day they had a bar review, and you could go back to the school, and you could actually listen to the audio of the class. And then when I listened to the audio, I made notes down the right side, and these were those key points. And then when I got ready to study, I only had to read the right side and hit those key points. Those notes eventually evolved into a course, into a set of notes. My first business was writing what we call ponies I went to Columbia University in New York. So I wrote ponies for the contemporary civilization course, and that eventually evolved into a company called Monarch Review Notes, which eventually evolved into Cliff Notes. That's a story for a whole nother day, but note taking is really a skill for you to work at, and take notes always. It gets your mind and your hand moving on a certain level, which accesses another level of consciousness. Other thoughts today? Just that whole that line of thinking there for a moment. You know how it's like 31 degrees here, and I was coming out of church, and there's a daffodil blooming. So how does the daffodil know to bloom in this cold weather? Okay. Like I have azaleas outside, and how do they know to bloom at a certain time? So there's certain vibrations that let the world know to do stuff, to let things know to do stuff. And we as human beings can really tap into those kind of vibrations. And so certain movements we have, like the rappers can say their lyrics, but they have to say it with the movement and the beat. If you just said stand up there and tell me the lyrics, most time they can't do it. And so information comes to you in so many different levels. There's motion, there's a kinesthetic aspect of it, there's a spiritual aspect of it, there's a receptiveness. It's almost like if you open your mouth, sometimes the words come there and are placed there. So all of this is a process of that learning thing that we can expedite and increase our ability to learn. Kim, go right ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I really wanted to just say, wow. Wow. And that is wisdom on wildfire. Just
Yeah.
listening, just listening. And then I was talking to you, Dr. Harris, the other day and asked about your book. And the more you come with what you have to share, you know, it is just, it blows my mind. So I just want to say thank you for all of the wisdom. And I heard Herman talk about us being a child of God. And, we are definitely children of God in his garden. So
Wow.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. We appreciate you. Kim, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Harris and Mastermind. I hope you guys are having a magnificent day. I was taking in the information and just soaking it up, and um, uh, quite a few people here know I was actually blind for 16 years, and I have a book I'm writing called From Sight to Vision, a 16-year journey through blindness to sight. And um, it's interesting how when when we think we know things, vision is not about the things that we see, but the things that we see that are unseen. And uh, I just, I've only had my sight back now for close to about 2 years, without the help of medical doctors. It was all God and nutraceuticals, but I'm sharing this with you because it's a reality that our perception of things and how we think things really are is is not the same. I would challenge everybody to close your eyes and just be aware of absolutely everything that's going on around you. Just the intricacies, the small, the sounds, the vibrations, the noises of things, and how aware are you before you did this?
Mm.
So it's like, I sit here and I hear the humming of my fish tank, the the cat outside meowing, and different things. But had my intention not shifted to that, then it's like that still small voice. You were
Yes.
talking about Habakkuk 2:2, to write the vision upon a tablet and make it whole. This
Uh-huh.
is a scripture I hold very dear to my heart, because in that scripture it talks that we should write it down that all may see it and that they may run to it. So if we are grasping hold of the things that are visionary, but not just our sight, the things that we're experiencing in the moment, then it opens up many more magnificent opportunities. And I want to thank you for that today. And God bless all
Thank,
of you.
thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Kim, what was that breakthrough that gave you your sight back?
I take the Nutraveda products and I
Uh-huh.
started taking it's called Relief,
Uh-huh.
and they're probiotic. I literally have gone through 9 pairs of glasses in the last 2 years. My eyesight is still improving. I need another pair of glasses, so I'll be on number 10.
Uh-huh.
So, there's things that God brings us to bring us through.
Uh-huh.
And I owned a health food store for 13 years, so it wasn't
Uh-huh.
like I wasn't trying things to have
Uh-huh.
restoration of my sight. But God needed me to have the experiences that I had to learn how to um, come to a more magnificent space that God wanted me to be in. I
Wow.
wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
People say, "Don't you wish you didn't go blind?" And I can honestly say that's not true. It was just as hard getting my sight back as it was going blind, because now who am I? How to
Mm.
identify? Am I a
Yeah.
sighted person that went blind, or a blind person that was sighted, or a sighted person that was blind and now sighted?
Yes.
It's hard to see how you identify yourself, and that was a challenge for close to, well, I would say
Wow.
until just a couple months ago for
Wow.
me.
Yes.
So I think
Wow.
that this I appreciate this mastermind because
Yeah.
the information and insights are so powerful. So thank you for what you do, sir.
Thank you so much, Kim. And sometimes you had to bring us to it to bring us through it. We can't get to the fire until there's a fire. You got to bring us to the fire so that we can know that we can be fireproof. Thanks, Kim. But Helen Keller said something just past. She said, vision. Not what was it? Vision without sight. I think it was vision without sight. Sight without vision was a tragedy. Vision without sight. Oh, it'll come to me, but it was a very profound statement, Helen Keller. Basically, she was saying when you have sight but no vision, that's a tragedy. Sight but no vision. But when you have vision without sight, it's an inconvenience. I think that's really what it was. So vision is more important than sight. Thank you. Right. Wow. Other thoughts? Woo. Mm. Dr. Jana, yes.
I just wanted to call Kim's attention to the chat.
Uh-huh.
Pickle Golf Stewart
Yes.
saying blindness healing. Wow, send me info.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Kim, you see that? Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Casey, with your hand still up? Uh-huh. Okay. All right, folks. Unless there are any other comments, other thoughts, other feedback. Raymond, I knew you were going to open your mic. You're right there in the middle of the screen. I saw it. I saw it. Go ahead.
I just want to say I appreciate the lady's testimony because I've been diagnosed with glaucoma. So anything you hear like that, we hear from other people. It gives us hope, and she really gave me some hope. So I appreciate her testimony.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Raymond. It's funny. I saw you. I said, Raymond's going to speak right now. Beautiful. Okay.
I'm going to add one thing in
Go
alignment
ahead, Christine. Yes.
with what Kim said. Remember last week I talked about using a nutraceutical to get me
Yes.
off the couch? We use the same one. That's actually how I met Kim. So
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
powerful. They're pretty powerful.
That's a powerful testimonial. That's some powerful stuff. All right, folks. Be sure to visit our website. As you see, we have everybody here, Dawn and Greg and Chris, Royce. Cynthia, you were the first person on. I looked up and you were on like 10 minutes. Cynthia said, I want to be on for this today. Let's see, anybody else? Herman, we have
Coach,
everybody. Yes.
Coach Mile has his head down, Dr. Harris.
Oh,
He's trying to.
okay.
I don't know if he's ducking you or not. I can't call it.
Let's see. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Every single thing you said, um, Dawn opened it up, and why it was so profound is that you're building on ideas. You built on the pivot. You built on Christine's renegotiating. And so this was so appropriate for me. I thought so highly of this after listening to Herman and Christine and Dr. Janner. And I definitely got the wow. Wisdom on wildfire.
Yes.
I'm going to give you credit for it 3 times, and then after that, it's mine.
Yes.
But I felt so moved by this that I live by this. I'm really proud that I am associated with the people I am associated with, including you. But I'm so moved by it that on Monday morning, I'm going to deliver this because the best way to learn something is to go out and teach it.
Yes.
But this morning with these 7, uh, it's powerful. It's powerful and it moved me. So thank you. I need I see somebody on here that I invited that I bought the books. Oh, what I do is when I get new people, I I gift them one of Dr. Harris's books. Uh, so um, I need the Zelle thing. Okay.
Okay, Coach. And the books will be on the way. Okay.
Fine.
All right.
And because I take slow notes, Dawn, uh, what I do is I take my 1 page of notes, but also I put the phone on, and it goes ahead and it takes out the notes too.
Beautiful.
And I want you to know that it was Cliff Notes that got me through college.
Yes. Yeah,
So
man. Yeah.
it was all Cliff Notes.
Okay. No, well, I'll take responsibility for you. I'm
Yeah,
glad I was able to help.
I tell you, if not for Cliff Notes.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Coach.
Oh man.
Yeah. That was some of the first money we ever really made. Thank you so much. That whole evolution. All right, folks, we've gone a little bit over, and I try to honor your time. I just, you know, I appreciate your being here, and I have an appointment with you every Saturday, and what I feel is that I have to be a conduit for the message. That's why I can't lay them out like months in advance, and like right, just next 6 topics. It doesn't work like that. It works like feeling the vibration of our presence together, and then letting the message come. So Thanks, Dawn, for tolerating me and you know, do, do, helping me focus on doing what I must do. So, unless there are any final remarks or final questions or comments,
Dr. Harris,
then
I just
yes.
wanted to acknowledge, I think I do see some new people on, and it would only be gracious of us to acknowledge those new persons that are joining us today for the very first time. I see a Kirk. I'm not sure who invited Kirk, but we're so glad to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. For any other new persons, if you can just, raise your hand quickly so Dr. Harris can acknowledge you. We appreciate you being on here, and we look forward to seeing you every Saturday morning, right where the Eagles come together.
Wow. Yes. Yes. I see Eva. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to say hello real quickly and say thank you for your beautiful divine message. I haven't been on in a little bit, but I think your last comment just reinforced the power of our human technology as opposed to AI, that you do this from the spirit. And that's why it's powerful. You're not just planning something just to check off a box. You really want to connect with us. So I thank you for that. And that's something we all have, is that, spiritual technology that AI will never have. So thank you.
Thank you. Eva, I like that term, spiritual technology. Woo, I love that.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Thank
Dr.
you.
Harris, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you about that story about the dog food and us feeding each other. I really appreciate that, man. That's how it works. We feed each other, and that's how we be fed.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the two doors, the difference between heaven and hell. Thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Raymond. Yeah, that's Ricky Young, one of my good buddies in New York. Ricky Young, I was being interviewed on his program, and when he shared that story, I'm like, man, wow, that's a powerful lesson. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a keeper. I'm gonna use that one myself. That's a
Yeah,
keeper.
yeah, that's a keeper. That's it.
Oh, another house went into.
Yes, Oscar Joe. Yes. Okay, I saw Joe had opened his mic. Okay. Naima, thank you for being with us. One of the very interesting, my old writing partner and I wrote a play called Naima that was eventually made into a movie, and someone saw it. One of those movies that was probably a grade C movie, but someone actually saw it and called me and said, "You guys wrote the music for that." Yes, we did. So Naima, welcome. Maybe that will stimulate that vibration again. Yes,
Oh, yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Where are you from, Naima?
I'm your neighbor right here in Raleigh.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Okay.
All right, but thank you.
Good to be here. Thank
All
you.
right, folks.
God.
So I
So,
asked,
Papa,
yeah, yes.
you want to play grandma? You're a little touchy guy. Huh?
Let me mute that.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
from Raleigh, North Carolina.
yeah. All right, thank you. I put in the link, the Patreon site, patreon.com/Success Mentorship Network is free to join now. So, especially all of our new people, be sure to join so that way you get direct messages about what we're doing and you can sort of keep up. We try to notify you and train through that platform. At some point, we're going to be charging, but you better hop on now so that you be able to get access to all of our recordings and some of the other good stuff that we're doing. So that's patreon.com. Maybe I'll put it in again down here at the bottom so it'll be there for you. And then share it. And just join so that way you get access to all the stuff that we're doing. Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us today. May you take these words and let them be the wind beneath your wings. Each of us is an eagle. Each of us can fly. Each of us can be what we want to be, do what we want to do, and have anything we desire. And we say together as we close out, always knowing that the best
Best
is,
Best
is
yet
yet
is
to
yet
Yet to
come.
come.
to
To
come.
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 And
Absolutely.
so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
So it is.
Oh, it is.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you, Dr.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Harris.
Be well, be
Blessings,
healthy, be
mastermind
wealthy.
group.
Take care, everyone.
Blessings.
And bring somebody next week.
Will
Bring
do. Take
somebody.
care.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be well, be healthy.
Thank you,
Blessings
Dr.
to all.
Harris.